Okay, now let me show you Reconng. That's a super useful tool. I'm sure you will find it very handy. So let's fire it up and create a test workspace, and then add the domain yahoo.com. Yeah. As you see, the host table is empty, and now let's add a domain that translates domains to hosts, right? So let's use this one, say Bing API is still up, but it's going down sometime soon. And we will be left with Google. Google is not that cool just because it normally asks you to resolve some captchas that are popping out. And here you see that we already got 78 hosts, right? Which is kind of cool because for the same result we will spend quite some time in Maltego or doing it manually. Okay, so we'll just have the host names without IP addresses or any other additional information. And now let's start doing some nasty things. Yeah, so there is this brute forcing, the domain brute forcing module that takes default source, which is just the list of all domains. And then using this word list, it constructs subdomains and resolve all the host names it gets. Yeah, so let's run it and see what happens. You can see that green asterisk, they mark the host names that are valid. And the speed of resolution is depending on global configuration. Now it's 10 parallel threads that are resolving all this stuff through my default DNS servers. It takes quite some time, but you get the idea, right? So we can brute force any number of words in parallel, and there are very comprehensive sources of this stuff, in particular in this sec lists repository that I recommended in the lecture. Okay, we're almost there. So we have 657 new hosts by brute forcing, which is awesome, right? So you see there are some duplicates here, but you get the idea. Again, everything is stored in tables, right? And as you have seen in the info for this module, you can use SQL statements, right, to operate over these tables. For example, by this query command, you just follow it by a valid SQL statement, right? And you see that there are 378 unique host names. Let's now load no, that's not that. That's other category, resolving hosts to hosts, and there is this just simple resolve module. Normally, it takes this source, right, listing host from hosts, where host is not null, okay, and IP address is null, doesn't exist in the table. That's exactly what we need. Let's run it. Again, it takes some time to do UDP based requests. Okay, so this is 187 new resolved hosts. And what we can do in order to get the complete information of the effectiveness of our actions, right? Just 87 unique IP addresses, but I think it's quite enough to start with. So this will give us an idea about what are the net blocks, and then we can just copy them and manually add to Maltego and go on and go on and go on, just increasing and increasing our basis of information about the client scope. So I think that's new and impressive to you. So under this impression, I bet you will go and download this stuff and play around the Reconng a little bit. It's super cool.